Welcome back to the Smugsy Show. I'm Smugsy, your host, identifying as the Barstool Cougar, but also identifying as the Barstool legal expert. That's right. This show is presented to you by Smugsy, sleek and elegant joint ciggies made with organic cannabis rolled in all-natural, locally sourced paper. Look for Smugsy's in the pretty indigo and marigold packs. All right, well, this is about the fifth attempt of me recording this show due to technical difficulties, so I'm going to make it quick. First, this is the new Smugsy merch. I hope you like it. It should be available soon on the company store that I'm hoping to set up soon. All right, this is a little bit more like it. Rico Bosco was suspended from Barstool Sports for 1 month for throwing a missile at his colleague, Big T. Yeah, and that's all the buzz. And so we're going to break that down because I am a legal expert. Rico Bosco was the so-called gambling expert of Barstool Sports, but he's also certifiably insane. And he became enraged because Big T called him by his government name, which is Terry. Okay, and that is a very, very bad name, but let's face it, it's not the government's fault. Rico Bosco, it's your parents' fault. But getting back to the story, Big T called Rico Bosco his government name, Terry, and Terry, Rico Bosco, became enraged, threw the can at him, almost hit Big T, and then stormed into his face and threatened his life. And for that, he was suspended for a month without pay. Has to issue Big T an apology and attend anger management therapy. And I agreed altruistically in the spirit of generosity to provide online anger management and legal advice, not only for Rico Bosco, but for everyone else who's in a similar situation, because this happens all the time now, okay? Everywhere you look, it's happening. And so really there's two courses of action here that Rico Bosco can take. First of all, it's an outrage that Big T refused to call him Rico Bosco. I mean, let's face it, if I have to call you they should have to call him Rico Bosco. So I think he's got a claim there. I mean, you have a right to your pronoun, you have a right to be called Rico Bosco. Number one. Number two, there was clearly racism involved, okay, because Big T, when he called Rico Bosco Terry, he was wearing a hat. He was wearing a baseball hat. Okay, so right off the bat, Rico Bosco could sue Big T for racism. And I know that sounds harsh, but racism is a very, very popular weapon these days. I mean, just today, this is what somebody said about me for opposing a gigantic low-income housing project that was going to cost $1 gazillion and not house anybody right in the middle of my town. They said that I continue to dig my heels into the disgusting ditch of white privilege. Yeah. So, I think it's obvious that Rico Bosco was a victim of a racist attack, or at least he could make that case. And then there's the issue of whether his government name is Terry or if in fact it's James Villani, as reported by Amanda Castro in The Sun. Okay? There was news today that Rico Bosco's real name was James Villani. I mean, can you imagine what he did to her? I mean, Big T called him Terry and he almost got killed. She called him James Villani. And then there was a retraction. It said, shortly after the article came out, In an earlier version of this article, the name James Filani was wrongly used to identify Rico Bosco. So, I mean, he's got a serious claim. But the easier legal route, Rico Bosco, if you become so irate because someone utters your so-called government name, which, let's face it, the government didn't give you, it was your parents. Okay, so this is really about them. If you become so enraged by being called your name, change it. It's a one-page form that you file with the probate court. It's $150. There you have it. A third option is to smoke more weed. Yeah, I guess anger management, not only anger management, but it'll prevent and treat COVID. That's right. In Bloomberg News today, I saw it right there on the internet. Cannabis compounds prevent the virus that causes COVID-19 from penetrating healthy human cells, according to a laboratory study published in the Journal of Nature Products. Now, the Journal of Nature Products, I'm sure, is a journal that you all read. So you probably already knew about this, but I was quite pleased and expect the FDA to come knocking on Smugsy's door any second, and we will immediately rise to the occasion to serve our nation. And Smugsy's for the masses to save us from COVID. There's just a lot to look forward to, and I hope you'll stay here with me and share the ride every Wednesday here on the Smugsy Show. And that's it for this week. Follow me on Twitter @SmugsyGirl. Subscribe to the show. Leave a comment. And until next time, this is Smugsy signing off. Take care.